Hi everyone. So today, as of Monday, July 27, 2020, this is your second stimulus package update, second stimulus check update. So today's big day. The Republicans just introduced their new bill called the HEALS Act. So it stands for Health, Economic Assistance, Liability Protections, and School Act. So we're going to go through those step by step. So one good news is that, as I said in my previous video, you can check back in the video before, and thanks for everybody who's watching and everybody who's sharing my video. I really appreciate that. I mentioned that there will be a second stimulus check of $1,200 that will be rolled out in the stimulus package that Congress is about to pass soon, hopefully. As negotiation goes on those stimulus package, the bill might be passed before the August 7th, or it might go throughout mid-August. So I don't expect to get this for people to receive those stimulus checks before the end of July. Unfortunately, it will have to be either mid-August or the end of August. So as negotiation goes, depending how fast the two parties comes together. So in the bill, the bill is worth $1 trillion, and it has $100 billion for schools, for them to have protective PPP to be able to reopen. So the Republicans are really strong on wanting school to reopen for fall. So they made sure to put in the bill money for the schools to have to buy protection equipment, sanitizers, and stuff like that. So that way there wouldn't be a lot of pushback from the Democrats against that, because there is already money for the schools. So there is it's really hard to argue against that point, because they provided the money for the schools. And you can expect that the reopening for the schools can be different from region to region, depending on the level of case of infection of coronavirus. So for the $1,200 stimulus check that people will receive, there is you will receive it if you are in those following income brackets. So $75,000, that's in the bill introduced by the Republicans, so that's not the final bill, but so it will be the same level of income as the previous one. So if you make under $75,000 and you're single, you will receive the check. If you make $150,000 as and you're married, if you make below that, if you are single and you have a dependent, then the income threshold is $112,500. And if you make over that, you will receive a reduced amount of the stimulus check, and to a certain level of income you will not be eligible to receive the stimulus check. I also have to mention that you can receive it if you are adult dependent. You will receive $500. So that's the stimulus check is a bipartisan point. So I believe that will not be a point of contingency, and we will in the final bill see something resembling to that. So and so now one of the point of contingency is unemployment benefits. So as you know, people were touching up to $600 a week on the federal unemployment, and the Republicans are arguing that some people are making more money at home that they were making working. So that's a point of contingency in arguments, as the Democrats say that that is a significant good amount. It's hard to calculate everybody's income, so it's good to just stick with the 600. And some other people are arguing that, you know, small businesses, they try to keep people employed. They try to keep them on a payroll by receiving the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Plan. But I've seen some stories about, you know, small business owners saying that their employees were mad at them for keeping them employed, because if they had filed for unemployment, they would have received more money. So that's a point of argument, and you can find you know, good argument on both sides. So that will be one of the argument points, because the Republicans in the HILls Act are vouching for $200 a week, so a reduction of $400 for 2 months. So that will actually go until September, and after that they will then introduce what they called the income replacement method, which will be up to 70% of people's wages. So that's what they were arguing to introduce in this bill. Due to the technicality and the how hard it was going to be to implement, I think they decided to give themselves some time. So that's why it was pushed back to 2 months. So that's part of their bill, and so those 70% will be up to $500 a week, so no more than that. And so and the Democrats are still arguing against that. So that's something that is going to be part of the negotiation as they come together to finalize the bill that, will, after that, it goes back to the House, that will be voted there, and Democrats have a majority, so they need to have a consensus in Congress before it goes back to the House, and after that it goes to the President to be signed into law. So now to qualify for the PPP money, the Paycheck Protection Plan, if you are self-employed, if you are a small business of less than 300 people and have made less than 50% of your sales during the period, you can qualify for that PPP money. So stay in tune for that. Make sure to apply, because last time the PPP money ran out really fast, and they introduced 2 other bills, and in those bills we saw that a lot of big companies were able to apply for those loans, which is unfortunate, because this is meant for the small businesses, not big corporations. So and in the bill, we saw the health economic assistance, which is the stimulus checks, and there is another part called liability protection and schools act. So why liability protection? So they want to introduce some money and some legislation to protect businesses and school as they reopen and take back people, so that they cannot get sued if people get coronavirus, get infected when they get back to school, or they go back to work. So the language behind it says that schools cannot or businesses cannot be sued unless they are engaged in negligence or lack of methods to protect the people. And the Democrats are pushing against it because they want schools and businesses to be more liable, to be more thoughtful in the way they open, in the way they separate people, in the way they protect people, so that less people get infected. So that will be another part of the argument that will maybe drag on the final decision on this bill before it gets passed. So so good news, you will get your $1,200 checks if you qualified, if you're an American and you are in those income brackets, like I said before. But you might have to wait until May or the end of August before that happens. So thank you for tuning in today. As I said, I will be making daily videos updating people on the stimulus check, the stimulus package, and everything relating to coronavirus. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.